Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the boy Panther. We back with another interview, man. We back with another interview. Like I told you guys, this is the edition of this is the Store Podcast interview edition. Mind my words. I'm trying to sound very professional right here and not nervous and stuff. But yeah, man. So today we got a dope guest, man, hailing all the way from KBY, originally from DK, I think. But we're gonna chop that out right now. I don't introduce people. I let them introduce themselves. And the reason behind all of this, fam, is to introduce you guys to people doing dope things in the north. So yeah, man, holla at the camera, fam. Introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Junior Oliphant. I'm a visual artist from Kimberley, and I have a lot of family and a lot of memories here in Daniel Scale. And honestly speaking, I think this is where my whole artistic journey started.
Sure. Yeah, man. So, bro, I went through your Facebook, bro, because me and you we started following each other.
Yeah.
So I went through your Facebook and I saw all the cool stuff that you did, and I was like, yo, bro, we have to have this sit down. Me and you we have to have this talk, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to start with the passion because I think sometimes the passion is the thing that pushes us. Where does this passion for art comes from, IG?
It's a long story. I'm gonna try to make short. What happened was my uncle Christo Stevens, he was an artist,
Sure.
and in I think it was grade three or something, grade two or grade three, and he used to sit behind closed doors, and I was always like curious to know what's going on in his room, and because he never allowed me to go
Sure.
inside of his room. One day I had the opportunity to go check, take a little sneak peek, whatever the case might be. And when I opened the door to a complete new world. And I was immediately inspired. I was intrigued, and I told myself like, this is what I want to do.
Sure.
And later on, he started realizing, okay, now this light is actually, drawing, and it has potential.
Sure.
And he started guiding me and things like that and so on. And then he saw that I was actually learning it really quick. And then he asked me, did you go into my room? And I was like, yeah, I just had to. I couldn't help myself, And till this day, I will be forever grateful to if I can call it a little accident.
Sure.
Like curiosity killed the cat.
Oh,
In this case, the cat just landed on his feet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's dope, bro. So when did you decide, no, man, I'm gonna be serious about this thing? Your uncle saw that, yo, you have a bit of talent, but when did you decide, yo, bro, I think I can do something with this?
Ever since my encounter in my uncle's room, went to school, like any other kid, just drawing class, take competitions amongst each other and whatnot. In my case, the competition started getting big
Sure.
because, people were like, nah, you can't draw like Junior, you can't draw like Junior, or Junior, you can't draw like that guy. And I loved the challenge, And so drawing in classes started from a young age, since primary and all that. But when I decided I'm going to make it a career, I want to do this thing professionally, was in 2018 when I went to go study graphic design at Central University of Technology in Bloemfontein.
Sure.
So my arts teacher, recommended me to join into this free arts competition called New Breed Art.
Sure.
And what they focus on emerging artists. They give them a platform to promote their work. And what I did there was I just took a photo of something. I put some digital designs on based on what I learned in varsity, and I submitted it. And next thing happened next, and I was part of the exhibition. And in the gallery space itself, knowing that I'm not there as a visitor or a spectator,
Sure.
I'm there as an artist. The feeling there, and the engagement that I got from the public,
Yeah.
that was something beautiful to me. And I told myself that day, like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Sure. So you say you studied graphic design.
Yes, the course's name at CUT is called Design and Studio Art.
Sure.
I just took graphic design as a major.
Sure.
But in your first year, what you do is obviously they call it a portfolio. It's like a drawing test, just to see how good your drawing skills are. And when you get enrolled and accepted, that is when they actually enroll you in. They expose you to all kinds of art mediums that there is, such as fashion, photography, painting, sculpting, whatever the case might be, jewelry. I did all of that in my first year.
Okay.
Just to have a feeling
Okay.
to what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And when it comes to my artistic experience as a visual artist and not just tattooing and all that,
Yeah.
um, I wanted to take like fine arts as a major, but I couldn't really see the future with fine arts,
Okay.
And then I told myself, how parents are, you have to art and dancing, entertainment industry. It doesn't pay the bills, and you need something that's stable and things
Sure.
like that. And that's why I was like, what, as a backup plan, let me rather just stick to graphic design,
Okay.
and then I will put my mind to it. That I'm gonna take the little that I have, I'm gonna make the best with it.
Sure. So with graphic design, so obviously you have to make a business out of graphic design. So I want to plug your graphic design side of everything. As we go through this conversation, I actually want us to plug everything because I want people to see the diversity in what you do.
Yeah.
So with graphic design, do you just what is the scope of it? Do you do logos for companies? Do you design logos for them, and do you also design maybe their advertisements? Because graphic design is not just designing a logo; it's
Yeah.
like creating a brand
Yeah.
and putting it out there. So people need to know that they can also use your services. So can you just give like a brief explanation to your graphic design side of the business?
When it comes to my graphic design, I focus mostly on the digital part,
Okay.
which is why the photography was compulsory, and I use the skills that I learned in photography to do photography as well. But in my case, how I promote myself as a graphic designer is I promote brands. I will
Sure.
take like a Coke can, then I'll make like a promo video,
Sure.
and I'll make like a marketing campaign, and then I just post it on social media, and just tag Coke.
Okay.
Whenever Coke sees it, even if it's 10 years from now, they will eventually see it,
Oh,
and that gives me that edge of to say like I know how to market myself at the end of the day.
sure.
And so yeah, I do logos, and then I do business plans as well,
Sure.
and I do like complete marketing profiles, company profiles, whatever the case might be.
Yeah.
And I'm fluent in Photoshop, Illustrator. You can basically say the whole Adobe Master Suite.
Sure.
And then I also have skills in CorelDRAW.
Sure.
I don't really like CorelDRAW, to be honest, because I got so used to Illustrator and Photoshop.
Sure.
And everything that if you have to work in a print house, they prefer CorelDRAW because it's easy to teach.
Sure.
And the thing is, when it comes to Adobe, you are only subjected to the limitation of what you allow to be
Oh, wow.
limited to. So if you don't know what double exposure is and you want to do double exposure, you have to do research. And if you do your research and you check your tutorials, if you don't know how to do your research in the first place, then you're going to struggle.
Sure.
So whatever the case may be, when it comes to digital designs, whatever the client wants, if I haven't done it before, I'll be honest with him.
Yeah.
But then YouTube is available to everyone.
Sure.
So I use YouTube every single day to my advantage because there's still so much that I can learn.
Heavy.
And then when it comes to my my paintings, what I do is I photograph my own reference images,
Sure.
and then I digitally design the mock-up.
Okay.
So I still use my digital skills anyway,
Oh, wow.
and that's when I actually come up with the final piece of what the painting is supposed to look like.
100%, man. So, fam, if you guys are watching this, man, you thinking about starting a business, bruh, let me just say this: running any type of business is it's an uphill battle. So you don't want to just worry yourself also about the graphic or the branding part of it. Rather go to the people that have expertise in these things, then they can build your whole feel, your whole look of what your company represent. Guys like Junior, they do this for a living. So holla at him. I'm gonna plug him down below. You're gonna see his details and everything. So if you thinking about starting something, a business, you want to create a look, a feel for it, use his services. Okay, let's go to the painting side, bro. Do you also do portraits and stuff? Because I saw two cool paintings. One was a bunch of people standing around a fire. You had a cool explanation to what that painting was about. I didn't even read the whole thing because I was so in awe of the painting itself. So yeah, man, the art part of it, of everything, man. Where did that come from?
That came from my uncle that I mentioned earlier.
Sure.
Because he was actually into colored pencils.
Sure.
I always hated colored pencils because of the time that it takes. I don't really. I'm struggling with patience even still today. Even though I know that it's very contrasting because I sit 6 hour
Yeah,
sessions with
well,
my tattoos. And even my drawings as well. But when it comes to like oil painting and pencils and all that, I just don't have the patience for that.
well.
And yeah, so as I mentioned earlier with the first exhibition that I had, I submitted a photograph. And then, as I got inspired, as I started learning more throughout the years, I told myself, you know what, I don't think I want to be a photographer, known as a photographer. I think I want to paint because I think I have the
Yeah.
skill. And in varsity itself, I didn't take painting and drawing seriously. I
Oh,
only
well.
started taking it seriously after varsity, and I don't know what happened there. I just started drawing, and I liked what I saw, and I saw there was potential, and I wanted to be better at this.
Sure.
And ever since then, my name has started growing with galleries. My reputation has started growing around people, and last year I had my first international group exhibition.
Sure.
I was invited by a arts exhibition organization called It's Liquid Group,
Sure.
and they are based in the UK, London.
Sure.
And last year May, I had the opportunity to go to London.
That's awesome, bro.
And this year I have another opportunity coming up. I got two of my paintings got accepted um, through another gallery called Gallery Azur, and they are based in Germany.
Awesome.
So I have to leave around the 5th of March because the opening of the exhibition is going to be on the 7th of March.
Heavy.
And as an artist, my message is to promote colored excellence,
Sure.
but also not just promoting colored excellence. Me as a colored, I think growing up in places like Danielscale, I see how people are living, especially the youngsters.
Sure.
At the end of the day, if I can mention, like with the Tsotsis that I know, the gangsters that I know around, they are not even the people anymore
Mhm.
that is actually starting all these fights and deaths and the killings. Even whether it's on purpose or by accident,
Sure.
it's mostly egotistical
People.
teenagers,
All right.
if I can put it like that. Because I'm currently staying in Kimberley and I'm staying in Rodopan, and that is something that I see every day.
All right.
I stay next to a tavern every weekend. When I come back from wherever I was, then I hear there was like another death,
Mhm.
and I felt like the problem with this is where I think this starts is it starts with unemployment.
Sure.
Unemployment is the root of all evil. It leads to GBV, suicide, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and violence and gangsterism at the end of the day, because that is all that these kids are exposed to,
All right.
and they think that ego, being that macho man, that is what is gonna protect them at the end of the day.
All right.
And that is something that I want to change, because when you look at colored people as well, they are in
There's a
some way,
stigma.
yeah, there's a
They've
stigma
been
around them.
stigmatized that
Yes,
they
and
prone
that
to
is
violence and all of those, which is not true.
yes,
That's just a complete bunch of BS.
yeah. So through my art, I'm trying to challenge that stereotype, that stigma.
Uh-huh.
And that is why this gallery from Germany actually reached out to me, because I'm speaking about African art
Sure.
that doesn't look like African art. And especially with that painting that you mentioned earlier,
Co-
about the people dancing around the fire.
Sure.
The reference that I got there is I wanted to educate people on what the Khoisan people did in the past.
Sure.
The reason why I use Khoisan people in the background is to explore my culture identity.
Sure.
Because I'd like to believe that my ancestral bloodline is Khoisan, since they are the indigenous people of South Africa.
Sure.
I am learning as I make paintings, because I
Sure.
have to do my research first, because I
Heavy.
don't want to mislead anyone at the end of the day.
Oh well.
And with that being said, um, the information that I got at McGregor Museum in Kimberley regarding that is, you see the rock paintings that we are exposed to
Yeah.
in history of the Khoisan. In most cases, it's not just a case of one guy was just sitting and thinking about a giraffe, and we wanted to carve out a giraffe on a rock. In most cases, they have a thing that's called trance dances.
Okay.
And with these trance dances, what they do is they dance around a fire, where only when there is like sicknesses in the tribe, And with these sicknesses, the trance dance heals the sicknesses that is involved in the tribe.
Sure.
And with that being said, um, you can see how they dance and jump around the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And to make that tradition present, you see that in colored communities, in churches, in Pinkster churches, if you can call it like that. Daai wat hulle so juig en in circles hardloop in front of the church and whatnot. That is very relatable to me at the end of the day, because that is what I saw, and I saw that ancestral present connection.
So with the paintings that you actually want to tell the story, tell the real story.
Yeah.
And you actually touched on doing your research.
Yes,
Before you put it out there, you make sure that what you put out there is authentic and it's the real story.
Yes, and at the end of the day, if it is research based on what I heard from someone on an interview, or maybe I saw in someone's article or whatever, I make sure that I reference the necessary people that needs to be referenced, because in that case, I don't want to be called out for infringement.
Yeah.
And then also, if I don't, let's say if it's TikTok, I get some information on TikTok that I can use or utilize in my paintings, I would rather state that mythical stories, or stories from the outlands. This is how they used to do things according to a video that I saw on TikTok.
Yeah.
And this video inspired me to come up with a conceptualization like this.
No.
So yes, there's most cases where things might not be true.
Sure.
Or proven, if I can put it like that. But it's relatable to me because I know how to. I've seen it before, I've heard it before, and at the end of the day, I think how I choose to do my paintings and how I choose to expose them to the world, there's a lot of people that can actually resonate with it at the end of the day.
Sure. So I also saw on your page that you also, like you said that when we started off this thing, man, you said that you were a visual artist. I've saw some things that you've painted on, like things like containers, and I'm sure you also do stuff on walls and stuff like that. And I also believe that with that, you can also reach a lot of people and tell a broader story and stuff like that. But you can also do that as from a business sense. So I want people to look at this from a standpoint of, here's this guy who's taken his talents, and it's not just using it for one particular thing. He's making a business out of different aspects of his talents. So how important is it to dabble and dig deep into your talent, and also how important is it thinking about making that a business?
At the end of the day, the first thing I can start out with that question is by saying that you have to know how to adapt, because the world constantly changes, the market constantly changes, and you as an individual, there's not really much something that you can do about it.
Sure.
But as an artist, at the end of the day, if you are into the artistic or entertainment industry, you have to adapt.
Sure.
If the trend changes from gong to amapiano as a DJ, whatever, you have to go with the trend.
You have to
stay
go,
alive, because you have mouths to feed, you have bills to pay. And when it comes to art, it's the same at the end of the day. I recently started going into murals and graffiti when I returned from London.
Sure.
Because the culture there is so accepting of vandalism.
Sure.
And it's not even considered as vandalism anymore.
No way.
And the first painting that I did when I got back was inspired by that. And the first comment that my mother had about the painting is that it looks rude and it looks vandalized like our culture.
Sure.
And that was the best comment I ever got from my mother, because I didn't expect that from her at the end of the day. And I utilized that to sharpen and to narrate the message that I'm trying to put through. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to put through a message of hope and peace.
Yeah.
Also a message of unity. And then it is to explore my ancestral bloodline.
Sure.
To promote colored excellence. But then also at the end of the day, to educate the world about what it is that social media don't want to show.
Sure.
And that's basically how it all started.
Yeah, now let's go to the final part, man. The tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Painting on a wall, painting on a container, painting on a piece of canvas. That's a totally different ball game. And then painting on skin, bro. Human skin. Something that's going to be there till forever, bro. I mean, what made you jump? What made you also dabble in this, bro?
Okay, well, first of all, I want to start off by saying that I have been tattooing for the past 10 years.
Sure.
And what happened with that was I had a friend that knew, okay, Junior is the type of guy who always sits in class and he's busy drawing. He's not really paying attention. So I want to get a tattoo, but I don't know anything about stencils. And I know Junior is an artist, but I don't think that he can tattoo because I've never touched a tattoo machine before. So what I did was I used a big pen and then I drew a painting or a sketch on his arm. And he went to some other tattoo artist, I don't know who it is, I still don't know who it is. And this guy catched on so much nonsense with this guy's arm. And the tattoo didn't look anything to
like
what
the
I
one you drew, yeah.
on before. And then, as I think about it this day, I can't actually blame the guy because, we weren't really exposed to YouTube
Yeah.
and data being cheap and easily accessible for everyone. Maybe the guy didn't know about, stencils. And because I didn't know about it at the time as well.
Yeah.
But I was so angry and, I was like complaining to my friend, this is my work and, how can this guy tattoo like this and whatnot because it's now making me look weak and things like that.
Oh, well.
And then my friend was like, you know what, Junior, stop complaining. Why don't you start doing tattoos? And, that's when I was like, okay, at the end of the day, I don't have anything to lose.
Sure.
So let me just try it out. And ever since then, I've been building a reputation. The people that is watching this video most probably know about me that always goes to Lime every second to third month.
Sure.
And especially in Daniel Scale and in Lime Acres as well, I've built such a reputation in my tattooing that people are actually willing to wait for me to come back from Kimberley or wherever I am. And I just cannot be grateful enough. I just don't know how to say thank you to that. Because at the end of the day, when you are an artist, this is my way of giving back to the community,
Sure.
Picking up my tattoo gun, paintbrush, a spray can,
Sure.
and still leaving my mark behind, just like our ancestors did in caves.
Heavy.
Yeah,
Yo, that's so dope, bro. I have to cut you off there. That's so dope. It's super inspiring, bro. It's super inspiring. I can see where the love comes from. You just like putting a light on your ancestors and showing that, hey, yo, we've been doing this. Yeah, but bro, sorry for cutting you off, man. You can continue.
No worries, man. And that's what I am also trying to say with, you have to adapt. I can't go back now to any wall and, just take a stone and carve out my paintings and things like that. I most probably can, and that would actually be something new.
Sure.
But, the world is changing still.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep on changing. And it's up to you if you're going to allow the world to leave you behind, or are you going to take advantage by what the world has to offer.
Bad.
And that's why I just keep on saying, people like, onskap your omni.
Yes,
we
yes.
We take the little that we have and we have to make the best with it.
Heavy, bro.
You can't just keep on looking straight at your circumstances. I don't have this, I don't have that. My father's a molester or he's abused, whatever the case might be. And now I want to be like him, perhaps. I don't want to be like him, because at the end of the day, your life is in your hands.
Sure.
Our parents can only protect us from so much. They can only guide us until that specific spot. You know? After that, they're gonna have to leave us. Let us do what it is that we're supposed to do.
Heavy.
And hope and pray that
we do the right things,
we do
man.
the right things.
Yeah. Yo, so I like your beanie. It sets good intentions.
Yeah.
So, yo, fam, if you guys have watched this up until this point, bro, the reason why we're doing this is because of good intentions. It's because of showing the North is not just a place where nonsense happen. It's a place where beautiful things can also happen. So here's a guy using his talents, using his poise, using his wits, been to places like the UK. He's going to Germany, I believe that you said.
Yeah.
He's traveling. His talent, his art, his hustle, his drive, his passion is paying dividends. He didn't look at circumstances saying, nah, this is happening, that is happening, so now I'm also going to just go with the flow and do as they do. He was like, yo, I'm going to tap in at what I'm good at. I'm going to make something of it. So this is why we're doing this with all good intentions. Hey, yo, bro, so final words to the youth, to your peers, something positive that they can leave this with. Second, to also plug us with your number, where they can get you to use your digital skills, your art skills, and also if they need a fresh tattoo, where can they get you?
Okay, let's start with social media first. For tattoos, people usually just use my Facebook,
Sure.
which is Junior Oliphant. And then when it comes to my paintings, painting commissions and murals and things like that, people use my Instagram because that's where I mostly post my art.
Sure.
It's like a digital portfolio, if I can put it like that. And on Instagram, it's Real Junior Oliphant Art. And then my WhatsApp number is 065 652 2716. And then if there's any businesses that wants to reach out, collaborate and support me in some type of way, my email address is junioroliphant0@gmail.com. And a little word of motivation that I can tell the kids at the end of the day: don't allow love to make you make stupid mistakes. Follow your dreams, and if you feel that that person is worth it to be part of your dreams, make sure that that person knows about it. Take the little that you have, make the best with it, and onskap nie om.
Heavy, heavy. Yo, we're gonna live it like that, man. Hashtag on Scap and on Scapi on me. It's the boy Panther. We're gonna drop this soon. I'm not gonna reveal the date when we're gonna drop this on YouTube, but the full video will be available on YouTube. But we're gonna drop this on as parts, part 1 up until I think part 5 on Facebook. So yeah, man, you got the details. We're also gonna tag him in the video. It's the boy Panther. Peace.